Hello YouTube, back at it again with another video. So today we're gonna go over the weekend in motorsports and NASCAR. So today we're gonna start off with some ARCA highlights, and then we're gonna talk about the Xfinity Series, or O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race. Really nothing much to show there, just some domination, of course. We might get into that first, and then we'll go to the Truck Series race highlights just to watch the last lap of that, which is just amazing. And then we'll talk about the Daytona 500. So my predictions, they were I was 1-2 on the weekend. I was correct about Austin Hill. I mean, it was pretty expected of him. Started off on the pole position. Just a super speedway powerhouse, dude. He led pretty much most. He led most of the race. I think 70, near 70% of the race, if I'm not mistaken. But it's just all out dominant performance by him. Jesse Love did run a good race in the O'Reilly series as well. He's coming with a chip on his shoulder. Everybody thinking he didn't deserve that championship in the Xfinity series last year over Connor Zilic, who had 11 wins. Um, but yeah, it was just a great race in general, but just Austin Hill just pretty much running away with the whole race. We did see Raja Karuth make some good runs up there at the top in his maiden full season debut at in the O'Reilly series. Uh, we saw Natalie Decker get into a wreck. There was a few huge wrecks there. But just all around, it was a solid race in the O'Reilly series. There's nothing much to show just because of the pure domination. And yeah, we're gonna get into this first ARCA race video where Cletus McFarland participated in. This was Saturday, right before the O'Reilly's Auto Parts Series race. So yeah, let's just hop into it. We're gonna show the last few laps of it and just react and get into it. But yeah, so Cletus, earlier in this race, he had an issue with, on the pit road. His jack broke. And that put him a lap down. Cletus was running up front pretty much the whole race. But here at the end of it, he got a free pass, got back on the lead lap, and he ran pretty good. But if y'all don't know who Cletus McFarland is, he's a YouTuber. He's trying to get in the NASCAR. But yeah, the big wreck right there. But Cletus McFarland's a great. He's funny as crap. Great dude in general. But yeah, this is a pretty solid race. I kept up with. I just wanted to see how Cletus McFarland did. Yeah, Daniel Dye, he runs trucks too. Yeah, I don't think they're calling caution. There go Cleat right there at the top. Finished 11th. Yeah, it was a solid race. Cletus McFarland, he came in 11th place. Probably, I think his best finish. It's cool to see him, do something solid in motorsports, dude. But he's definitely improving. And I definitely think here in the future he's going to do better than he did at the truck race. So let's get into the truck race. Um, I was wrong about the winner. Tony Stewart did not win. He wrecked out earlier on earlier on in the race, but he still participated. It's just his truck was pretty messed up. We also saw Cletus McFarland wreck out in the sixth lap. He spun himself out. Actually, we'll show that, and then we'll show the last couple laps. But yeah, he did. he's got a lot to learn, especially in these trucks. His trucks are a huge step up from ARCA. These, it's pretty hard to handle these things. Especially having to all that in the back with nothing much holding it down. It's just you can tap the back of them trucks and spin out, but as you'll see here in a minute, Cletus McFarlane, he didn't. Nobody really even touched him. But yeah, let's get into this. First little lap. Let's get up a little bit. I mean, he was running solid where he was, for the time he was in the race, top 10. And then, yeah, there he just spun himself out, took a big hit into the wall. And, obviously, nothing, nothing you could have really done there. In his interview after the wreck, he, pretty much summed it up saying he got loose and he didn't want to go up into the race here and take other people out. Uh, but he ended up taking himself out, coming down like that pretty hard, hitting the wall like that. He was good. He's not injured. He was able to race in the ARCA race the next day, obviously. But, this was the night before the ARCA race. You can see really what happened here. Nobody even touched him, really. He got loose trying to, it's hard to handle those trucks. You saw him go back up. He didn't want to wreck anybody else out, which is very respectable. He just turned that wheel left a little too hard and, smacked into the wall right there. You're definitely going to see him in trucks again here soon, but he's mostly going to run a predominantly ARCA super speedway schedule till he gets the hang of things. So yeah, he's definitely going to improve better, dude. He's not really what we consider a young driver, but he's a young driver to the sport, and yeah, he'll do something, dude. He's definitely somebody who brings a big name to NASCAR. He's obviously really popular, really close with Greg Biffle. Sad that he had to pass away, honoring Greg Biffle all over the truck. He had the number 16 on the side of the ARCA truck by his name. So just tributes to Greg Biffle. But yeah, that was the guy who was training him, getting ready for this. And it's sad to see him wreck out this way. Greg Biffle would definitely been a major help in his performance, being a Truck Series champion. And yeah, it's just it's crazy. But yeah, we're definitely going to see him perform well in ARCA this season. Coming 11th place at Daytona, especially in his second year running here, after not even getting to finish in ARCA last year at Daytona, it's awesome. But yeah, let's get here to the final laps, which is where the magic is happening. Yeah, Travis Pastrana right there, barely missed it, dude. I'm glad he at least got the finish. Him, Tony Stewart, and Cletus. They were the big names for this race. Two of them wrecking out. But it's cool that Travis got to finish the race. Travis is just all around great motorsports driver from rally to anything, dude. He can drive anything. I think he finished seventh or 11th, if I'm not mistaken, the 500 whenever he ran it years back. But similar situation to Cleat. He was just wanted to get in the NASCAR, but he already had prior motorsport experience, in rally and all that. But connected with Jimmy Johnson, ended up getting him a shot in NASCAR. Ran Cup Series for a year or two, I think. So happy Dodge Ram is back, dude. It's cool to see. Cool to see that. That's where Tony got messed up. If I'm not mistaken. No, it was way earlier than that. My bad. Ads, dude. I really won't eat no fast food fish if I'm gonna be real with you. That 11 truck, that was Corey Haim's truck of last year, and that truck is just crazy good, dude. Something with it. It's always running up front. He's Cade Honeycutt. He's a good driver though. He performed really well in ARCA, but you know, off rip, if that 11 truck is doing like this, it might be another dominant year for that 11. Foreshadowing for sure. Yeah, this race right here, dude, insane. This final lap was crazy. He was rearing and greering, bro, just bumping and thumping. And he just comes through out of nowhere, bro. What a performance what a last lap by Chandler Smith, dude. Wait till you see the car, the truck, too. Beauty, is it? Yeah, that was a great race. Just came out of nowhere. They were fighting, dude. NASCAR did great not throwing that caution, letting them race it out. And that's also foreshadowing for the cup race. Uh, if this is a sign for the season, dude, this weekend it's going to be a great season, and we're going to get into the point system, which just looking at it's amazing, and I can't wait to see how it comes out next week after his second race, just to see how it looks after two races instead of just looking after one. But it's definitely going to be way more interesting than playoff format. I can't, granted, I did grow up watching the chase, but it's just being older. And look at that, a fish truck. Like, bro, a fish truck. Come on now. But yeah, anyway, just now that I'm older and can actually understand how playoff systems work and all that other good stuff, I can finally understand and appreciate the chase format. And we're gonna see it in all series, the trucks, O'Reillys, and Cup series. So it's gonna be cool to see. Yeah, what a beautiful truck. Definitely gonna have to cop that diecast. So let's get into the Cup race. Um, what a race, dude. What a race. Uh, so anyways, BJ McLeod wrecks out lap 6. It was sad to see him go. He was the guy who qualified, who really shouldn't have qualified. I forgot the dude's name, dude, and I'm gonna look stupid in this, but former Cup driver qualified, and he didn't pass post race inspection after the duels. And by the way, I was 1 for 2 on that. I said Casey Mears and Corey LaJoy. It was Casey Mears and BJ McLeod. BJ McLeod is a self-funded driver. See if I can find my phone somewhere. Here it is, and I'm gonna find that out for y'all real quick. My bad. I brain fart, but I was sitting there trying to think of his name the whole time before I started this video, and it just this segment, and it just brain fart. But yeah, it was Anthony Alfredo. But yeah, Anthony Alfredo, he finished great in the duels. He earned himself originally the position to compete in the Daytona 500. Uh, However, after post race inspection comes, BJ McLeod being the next highest finisher, qualifying and having the best times, he was able to qualify and get himself in. Corey LaJoy may have gotten himself in if he didn't wreck, and I'd have probably been right. Corey LaJoy wrecked on the last lap, but granted, if that wreck didn't happen, I highly doubt Casey Mears would have got in. So I did kind of throw myself off putting both of the people that I picked in the same heat, but yeah, just crazy to see him get out early. I think he has some tire issues. He went up into another car, took them out of the race. Uh, saw bunch of wrecks, bunch of people spinning out just due to the wind and all that. It was a really windy race, and it was blowing southeast up into an already you know loose area. People were spinning out there. Ryan Blaney, if I'm not mistaken, spun out in the turn 2 at in practice, and the wind blowing that way just made it way more hard. So let's get into these final laps. It was a great race all around, but at the end of it, it was getting to like lap 15, 14, 15, and people were starting to pit. Usually they'd pit like 5 laps before, and they didn't do it in packs, and that kind of like messed up the racing, messed up the running a little bit. Threw some people off, got people out of the packs and stuff. But eventually, towards the end, people got caught back up, and it came up with a weird, like, it just after all of that, just a weird top three, dude. Like, look at this: Tyler Reddick, Michael McDowell, Carson Hocevar, the back-to-back winner William Byron in that top 4 running, dude. And you see even Noah Grudge and John Hunter Nemechek, Josh Berry. But John Hunter Nemechek, honestly, he ran great all day. He's not one of those guys, he's really great on the super speedways, but he's not really one of those guys you think that's, up there at the front all the time. But, he did have a good running. So yeah, it made all that chaos, which is, why it was going into it, made for a great final few laps of this race. So let's get into it. The final 5 laps of the Daytona 500.
We are not yet to overtime. We'll take the green with 4 laps to go. Caution to the wind. Friends are out the window. Block, block, block. Push, push as hard as you possibly can. Foot to the floor. Here we go.
So sad for BJ, old BJ in the back.
Kevin, you said it. Very aggressive.
Well, they've already got themselves separated right there, and you see 2
I'm disappointed in Kyle Busch, man. I wanted him to have a good run. I'm not a Busch fan, but rocking the SVG hat if y'all didn't notice. Rocking back in 30th. He got hit out earlier on in the race.
Likely to be stiff winds and maybe carnage in his wake. We'll see. Oh, look, Reddick pulled up to try to slow that down. Missed the block on the bottom. Now he's 3 wide in the middle.
Yeah, it's
You're not going to McDowell. Here comes the help.
Yeah, and Hocevar was just a little late to that move.
it'd have been insane if William Byron, would have got to 3-peat here.
To change lanes right there, but it's going to work out for him.
Thank you, Hocevar. Bailed McDowell out right there. Now, Thursday night, Carson Hocevar helped another Chevy to victory in the 150-mile qualifying.
But yeah, dude, I was going crazy for Hocevar, dude. If he was running good in this too, it'd have been cool to see him win. We'll see. It's y'all good. Good gets good here in a minute. My boy Chase Elliott. Man, my pick, Ricky Stenhouse in that 47.
Hocevar down to cover, back up behind McDowell. Coming to 2 to go. Whoa, hold on to it, Logano. Loose off the corner. Hocevar's swapping back and forth, looking for a hold as he shoot to the bottom.
Here comes Tyler Reddick.
Yeah, dude.
And here comes the bottom lane, William Byron. With Brad Keselowski, one of the best pushers in this whole sport.
Gonna get wrecking here in a minute.
Chris Buescher behind him. Don't get too far out there, Michael McDowell. Here they come. Where does he go? High or low? He can't choose both.
Carson took that lead, dude. I was going nuts.
Carson Hocevar has the lead of this race, and Michael
He's a young driver, dude. He very popular on social media, streams iRace, and he's very good friends with Cletus McFarland. He's just a great personality. It'd have been awesome to see him win this race, but yeah, last to go right here. It's leading on the last lap, dude. He's a young driver, and that just, man, that was heartbreaking, but it was awesome. Like they great to let them still race, dude. And you know, I'm a Chase Elliott fan. Seeing this, him running up that in the top like this on the last lap, bro, I was so fucking happy. But yeah,
They come up single file. Zane Smith's going to have one shot at Chase Elliott, NASCAR champion, most popular driver. Trying for
Tyler Reddick just had that incredible run.
Riley Herbst, his teammate.
But Chase was running up there with no teammates.
In the wall goes
Wrecked out, bro. Like if he would have won that, dude, I was so turned. But you know, being a Tennessee Titans fan, Dallas Mavericks fan, Georgia Bulldogs fan, and Cincinnati Reds fan, I'm immune to, you know, losing. So happy when he was up front, and you know, just like is what it is when it happened. Granted, Chase has won a championship before, but yeah, it's dang, dude, that was still crazy. And just watching that again is like it's really a humiliation ritual. But yeah, great performance by Tyler Reddick on that last lap. Wasn't really a threat the whole race, but happy for Michael Jordan too. Yeah, I'm happy for Michael Jordan. Yeah, he's by the way, if y'all didn't know, Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace in the 23 and 45 are a part of 2311 Racing. If I'm not mistaken, the Riley Herbst who hit Chase Elliott out, the 37 is too. But well, 35. But yeah, is they got a good little team running the Toyota Camrys. But yeah, just all around good performance at the end of that race for the Jordan team around. Bubba Wallace was up front in the 23 for a little bit at the last few laps, not in this little segment, but he was up there towards the end of the race as well. And it'd have been cool to see Tyler Reddick win this race in a Jordan car. I feel like that would have been awesome. But yeah, so happy for Jordan, dude. So I think that honestly puts a into the GOAT debate as well, because I don't think LeBron James has a Daytona 500. He doesn't have two crown jewels. Michael Jordan does. So if you're still going to debate who's the GOAT, Jordan or LeBron, think about that for a second. LeBron ain't getting no Daytona 500 to win. But let's take a look at these standings. Chandler Smith, obviously, being the winner. These standings are really just going to reflect the running orders of the last race next week. We'll really see and dive into what these standings mean, and we'll start to see who's going to be the favorites to get into the chase. Obviously, Chandler Smith, Christian X, and Tom Majeski at the front. Ford running pretty good. And we'll see something different. And Brandon Quinn, that number 12 Dodge Ram, dude. Cool to see them in NASCAR now. Get back into NASCAR. So over time, we'll see how they perform. They're obviously not going to be running real good in the manufacturer standing, having most of their drivers in the back of the field. sad to say, but we will see hopefully a good running by them this season. This is just the first race. Daytona is really not a race to say, this is our champion. Daytona is a chaotic race. It's the first race of the season, the biggest race of the season. All these drivers haven't raced all year, automatically stepping into the biggest race of the year, essentially. And, everybody wants to win it. So, yeah, it's going to be chaotic. But it's not really a sign of who's going to win. Uh, the champion very rarely ever wins Daytona to start off the year in the same year. But yeah, so let's get a look into these manufacturer standings. If you want to know about the owner standings, don't know about it, it's essentially whoever owns the car. It's not like F1 where Red Bull, Mercedes, and all of that points add up, and that's how they determine the owner's champion. It's more or less uh, the winner of the car. So the owner standings is going to reflect the driver standings. So let's get a look at these manufacturer standings. This is more or less the constructors championships of Formula One. But so obviously Ford up front, having two in the top three, Chevrolet in third. We generally see Ford in the back. It's always Chevy. Chevrolet's won all three series the past 4 years. But yeah, Dodge Ram 4 points behind Chevrolet, 5 behind Toyota. Ford rocking and rearing in first place, 20 points ahead of Toyota in the first race of the season. So yeah, we'll over time we'll see how this adds up. So let's get in the O'Reilly series. Austin Hill, obviously, Justin Allgaier. Happy for Junior Motorsports getting up there in the top, and he's one of my predictions. Yeah, he is my prediction to win the O'Reilly series. Him or Austin Hill. Uh, Jesse Love, he is in the conversation, but dude, look at that. Chevy, all the way to the top 14. Why is that? Because Ford only has two cars. Yes, Ford dropped down to one team. I think one or two teams switched to Chevrolet. But, Toyota's in a similar situation, granted a better situation than Ford having four cars, five cars, Toyota only having two, Ford only having two. But yeah, this is going to change. It's just I think for a couple of years for now. But basically this Chevrolet Auto Parts series, Chevrolet O'Reilly Auto Parts series. But yeah, my boy Rajah Caruth in eighth place. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. LeVar Scott 21st. He's a rookie in this series coming up from ARCA. Natalie Decker finishing in 30th. Surprised about that, honestly. So we'll see how she does. It's gonna be very interesting. But yeah, let's get into the. Obviously, Chevrolet is going to be up at the top, reflecting the top 14 finish for Chevrolet. Surprisingly, Ford's in second place. But yeah, good performance for Austin Hill. 78 laps led. Only other one who really came close to him was Jesse Love, who was running up front when Hill pitted or something, or just when they were fighting 1-2 together. But Jesse Love being your previous champion, he's got a lot to prove this year. Hopefully he can do something. And obviously Tyler Reddick winning that Daytona 500, coming out with 3 stage points. Now these stage points, if you don't know, there's 3 stages in a race, and after you finish stage 1, you get top 10 drivers are awarded points from 10 to 1, so on and so forth. Chase Elliott, third place. Happy to see that. See Carson Hocevar. Yeah, that stage race, that stage win really helped him. 36 tied, not top 10. So if the season ended today, your Chase would look weird. Ricky Stenhouse, Zane Smith, Carson Hocevar, Riley Herbst, Daniel Suarez, Josh Berry, Kyle Busch. I mean, I feel like he'll make the Chase this year in reality. And Noah Grachson, that would be your Chase. Obviously, Tyler Reddick, Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, and Brad Keselowski. Those are guys you'd see in there. Bubba Wallace, you'd see him in there. But these other guys, it's crazy to see them running up like that in this race. But that's Daytona, bro. That's what you're gonna see. Look at that BJ McLeod, 1 point finishing that race. He finished it. But yeah, dang man. Look at that. One lap led. And that's all it takes in NASCAR, dude, to win the race and get 58 points. Well, 55 points, 3 points for the stage win. Good running. Chase, man. Wish you would have had it. It'd have been crazy. Bubba Wallace leading 40 laps. He led the most laps in the Daytona 500. And look at that. Chase Briscoe led 23 laps, finishing 37th. Nothing to show for it. 2 points. But he did get a stage point, though. Finishing 10th in the stage. Yeah, that just look at all these leaders, dude. Everybody was running up front. You don't see that in F1, bro. Not as competitive. So let's get into these manufacturer standings. Chevrolet running up top. 29 points behind is Toyota, and 100 points behind is Ford. That's generally how it is, and I feel like that's how it's going to stay all year. Ford's got a lot of running to do. They did lose Haas Motorsports, well, Haas factory team, the 41 car Cole Custer, but yeah, they do got a lot of running to do, especially since them moving, focusing on endurance and F1. So yeah, we'll get into that. And finally, we're gonna take a look at my fantasy team. Didn't do as hard as I thought I'd do, but we did something. We did something. Chase Elliott getting me 33 points. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., my predicted winner, getting me 35, which I think's thought he had got some more stage points than that. Austin Cindric, he wrecked out, did not perform as well, and I did not, it really wouldn't have made a difference putting Ryan Preece in over Cindric. But, Kyle Busch getting me 29, 7 stage points, and Seabell should have replaced him, but I didn't. Was not paying attention to my fantasy during the race. But, 12 points, 10 points, not really going to do anything. Let's see. I was correct, and incorrect. I really thought Ryan Preece was going to get that, so I put it on my fantasy team. But, yeah, good little first in my league, by the way, if y'all didn't know. But, yeah, so we'll see next week at Atlanta. So our next race is going to be at Atlanta. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to, my second video of the week, give you a rundown of the Motorsports Week. Really going to be more coming into it. My boy Chase winning that second duel. But yeah, anyways, I really didn't talk about the duels. So Joey Logano won that first duel, and obviously seeing it here, Chase Elliott won that second duel. These first three races are not point races. Point races. These are essentially tests and preseason races, if you will. The first point race is Daytona. So next week we'll go over the Auto Trader 400 in Atlanta at Echo Park Speedway. And by the way, I will be attending Talladega, the Jack Links 500. So I'll try to do something about that. I have a friend who's also going with me to the Cars Tour race in Nashville. We'll try to record that. And I will also attempt to try to go to the ARCA race, ARCA East Series race in Nashville on May 2nd. I'm going to try to potentially go to the the truck race in Nashville or Bristol. We'll see how that goes. And I might go to another cup race at the end of the year. And all the races I'll go to, I'll try my best to provide coverage and just, an experience so y'all can experience it too. And yeah, I appreciate y'all sticking around. And it's been a great video. It's a little longer than usual. And I feel like this is what these, post-race analysis videos are going to be like. Going to be a little bit longer once we get into F1 season gets started, because I'm going to go over F1 as well, and IndyCar once the IndyCar gets started. So I appreciate y'all sticking around. Appreciate it, y'all. See y'all next time. See y'all.